Hi, welcome to Roy's Game Table. Today we have Scenario 4 of the Rise of the Red Skull campaign, so let's get started. What's going on, Taskmaster? How did Hydra conquer New York City? It's not just New York, babe. Hydra rules all of America now. Madam Hydra brought Zola the Reality Stone. Then the Doctor used his power to put Hydra in charge. Where is Zola now? He set up shop on Ellis Island. Rumor has it he's doing weird experiments there trying to develop the perfect soldiers for Hydra. I've heard enough. Let's go get him. Having defeated Taskmaster, you learn that Hydra has not only captured New York City, but all of the United States. It was the mad scientist Zola who built a machine to harness the power of the reality gem and tip the balance of power in Hydra's favor. He has created a research station for himself on Ellis Island and turned the historic port into a nightmarish prison for his unfortunate test subjects. Taskmaster was ordered to bring the heroes he captured there for experimentation. In this upside-down America, you are the only hope the captives have to escape a horrible fate. Zola is the villain for Scenario 4 here in the Rise of the Red Skull campaign, and I do have everything set up. I have the Hydra prison in play, and I don't have Spider-Woman in my deck as an ally because when Hydra prison comes into play, you take a hero-specific ally and you put it underneath the Hydra prison face down, so that's why Spider-Woman is sitting over here face down under the side scheme, and you add X threat based on her cost is what the card says, and so that's why it comes into play with 4 threat on it. So in order to be able to use Spider-Woman in this game, I've got to remove the threat from Hydra prison, and until I do, she's going to sit right there in that prison. The good news is if I can remove the threat, I'll get to put her right into my hand when defeated. So that's good. Got everything else set up. The encounter deck is shuffled. Her deck has been shuffled. I got my starting hand. I got my 2 upgrades in play that are supposed to be here, and a minion in play that's supposed to be there with now 4 hit points like he's supposed to have. And again, I'm playing on standard, so I'll be doing 1 and 2 of Zola. And one thing I've got to remember is that he has Retaliate 1 on one side and his 2 side. So whenever I attack him, I will be taking retaliate damage, however I decide to attack him. So let's go ahead with my Mulligan. And I actually kind of like what I see here. So I'm just going to keep the hand that she has and go with it. So I'll start by drawing a card, and I get Vision. All right, very good. The first thing I'm going to do is put Moon Knight into play. And when I play Moon Knight from my hand, I can spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards. I will. I'm going to spend this wild resource on the Power of Leadership to draw 2 cards. I get the other Power of Leadership and the Triskelion. And I think now that what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip to Captain Marvel because I want to go ahead and take this minion out. He's got 4 health, and I can do it with a Photonic Blast. I'm going to use Lead from the Front, Make the Call, and the Triskelion for that. So I am using an energy resource to be able to pay for that. And before I can do that with the Photonic Blast, I forgot to give him toughness. He does come into the game with toughness. So I'm going to attack with Captain Marvel for 2 to knock the tough off of him. And now I can do my Photonic Blast. So I just had to do that a little bit out of order. Sorry, again, this is my first time playing in Zola. So I saw that when I was doing the setup, but I forgot to give him tough. But it shouldn't mess anything up with that. So I did my Photonic Blast, which will allow me to draw a card because I did use the energy to do that. So I've got Shang-Chi, and now I have a decision to make because I really would like to get Goliath into play. But I'm going to have to spend Vision and Shang-Chi to be able to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is instead of putting in Goliath, I'm going to put Shang-Chi into play. And when he comes, after you play Shang-Chi from your hand, you may spend an energy resource to stun him. I'm going to use Power of Leadership as an energy to stun an enemy, which will be Zola. And then he will come in with 3 health. And I'll just go ahead and have Shang-Chi and Moon Knight both thwart for 2, a piece for 4 to get rid of this Hydra prison. And when defeated, remove this scheme from the game and return each ally beneath it to its owner's hand. So Spider-Woman will now go into my hand. And I'm going to keep all 3 of those because I may put one of them into play. I'm not sure, probably Spider-Woman, but I'm going to just leave it at that and ready and draw up to 5. All right, start the villain phase, put 1 threat on the scheme, and the forced response on the Island of Dr. Zola main scheme is that I have to put a test counter, which I'll use green for that. And if there are 3 or more, I have to discard cards from the top of the counter deck until a minion is discarded and put that minion into play engaged with me. And then I remove 3 test counters. So I've only got 1 now. So I've done that. He's stunned, so he won't attack. The encounter card will be advance, and that is not cool. I didn't want to see that this early. He schemes for 2. Shuffle Zola's Mutate into the counter deck. So just for 2, that's not going to hurt too bad. And so it'll go up to 3 out of 6 on this front side. And I'm going to shuffle this back into the deck and then go to Captain Marvel. Okay, so for Captain Marvel, I am going to first thwart for 3 with her to remove the threat off the main scheme. And then I'm going to put Spider-Woman into play using Endurance, Hawkeye, and Vision to do that. So she will come in and confuse Arnim Zola. And she'll come in with 2 hit points. And I'm not going to do anything with her right now because I don't want to lose her to the retaliate damage. I want to hold on to her at least. But I will attack with Shang-Chi and Moon Knight for a total of 4 damage onto Arnim Zola, dropping him from 12 down to 8. And they'll take 1 retaliate damage and 1 consequential damage, which will knock both of them out. And if I were to have Spider-Woman attack, she would be knocked out as well. So that's the reason why I'm not going to have her attack. I'm going to hold on to Goliath, leave it there, ready, and draw to 5. All right, start the main villain phase. 1 threat on the scheme, which puts a counter on it, so we're at 2. He's going to attack for 1, and it's just for 1. I'm going to have Captain Marvel take this for 1. And so give the villain a tough status card. Okay, that's the boost. So he will come in with he will get a tough, and she will just take 1 damage. It will drop her down to 13. And then the encounter card will be under attack. So when revealed, each player chooses to either place 2 threat here or deal 3 damage to their hero. I'm going to deal the 3 damage to the hero, dropping her to 10. So that means under attack will only have 3 threat on it. And we are back to Captain Marvel. The first thing I think we're going to do is have her thwart for 3 to remove this under attack so that I'll be able to take thwart off in the main scheme if I need to. And then I'm going to have her, I'm going to discard this Crisis Interdiction, the energy, to heal her 1, back up to 11, and then draw a card. So it's going to be Falcon. And then I'm going to put Alpha Flight Station into play using Falcon. And I will this time use Spider-Woman to attack for 2 to remove this tough. And that's going to knock her out of the game because she'll take 1 damage plus the consequential plus the retaliate. So she's out of the game. I'm going to flip to Captain Marvel. Draw a card. And then I'm going to use exhaust Alpha Flight Station to discard Maria Hill and draw 2 cards. All right, Cosmic Flight and Avengers Assemble. And then I'm going to put Goliath in using Strength for 2, Cosmic Flight for 3, Avengers Assemble for 4. And he's going to come in with 4 health and go ahead and thwart for 2 to remove this threat that's here. And hold on to Nick Fury, and that'll be it. I'll ready and draw to 6. Okay, start of the main villain phase. 1 threat on the scheme, which means we put a counter on here. We do have 3 now. So discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. So we'll do that. And we get a Berserk Mutate who comes in with 3 health. And he has Quick Strike. So he would attack, but I'm in Alter Ego, so he actually won't attack. So those 3 counters will come off. So I put the minion to play engaged with me. Well, actually, he wouldn't Quick Strike anyway because he did not get revealed. He was put into play, so I don't think that would have happened anyway, but I'm an Alter Ego, so it doesn't matter. And then, yes, I removed 3 test counters from this scheme. Okay, so we did the start of the phase, and he's supposed to scheme, but he can't because he's confused. The Berserk Mutate doesn't scheme, so the encounter card is Advance. Poor timing, because now it might advance to the second stage, but nothing I can do about it. Well, we'll see. 2, base of 2, 3, 4. So, no, it will only go up to 5 out of 6. So we're good, and I don't know if there are any more cards, I don't know if there are any cards in his deck that will allow him to scheme outside of his normal phase, but both advances are in the discard pile now. So I can have more freedom to flip to Captain Marvel later in the game if I need to, but now it is back to Carol Danvers. And the first thing we're going to do is draw a card with her commander ability. Okay, lead from the front. And I don't need 2 energy channels, I don't think, in the game right now. So I'm going to exhaust Alpha Flight Station to discard one of those and to draw 2 cards, Energy Absorption and Strength in Numbers. And I will flip to Captain Marvel. I'm not going to heal. She's at 11. I think I'm okay. I'm going to flip to Captain Marvel, attack for 2 on Artem Zola, which will drop him down to 6, 8 to 6. And she will take the retaliate damage down to 10. And then I'm going to put in Nick Fury using Energy Absorption for 3 and Strength in Numbers for 4. So that will bring him in, and I'm going to have him deal 4 damage when he comes in, and then attack for 2. So that's going to drop Artem Zola down to 0. So Nick Fury came in with 3, but the retaliate damage and his consequential will put him at 1. And then Artem Zola will advance to stage 2. He'll come in with 14 hit points. All right, and when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the test subject side scheme and reveal it. And then I shuffle the encounter deck. So let me go find that. All right, so we have the test subject side scheme. It has a hazard icon, and when defeated, the first player discards card from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion and reveal that minion. And so if I reveal like Berserk Mutate, the Quick Strike will fire in that case because you reveal the minion. You're not just putting it into play. But it is still her turn. I will go ahead and use Goliath to thwart for 2 to get rid of this side scheme because I don't want to have to draw 2 encounter cards. So I will discard cards until I get a minion and then I'll reveal it. Okay, Mind Ray. Okay, Ultimate Bioservant. And then he'll come in with 4. And he has Toughness. So we have 2 minions now that we have to deal with. And by the way, the Ultimate Bioservant, it has an asterisk by his attack, which means that he gets +1 attack for each attachment on it, which he doesn't have an attachment right now, so he's good there. All right, so I'm going to put Energy Channel into play, and then I'm going to spend 3 from Energy Absorption and 1 from Lead from the front to put 4 counters on that. And I think I will discard Strength in Numbers, hold on to Mockingbird, ready, and then draw to 5. And I was getting so excited about the fact that it only has 14 hit points, and I think we're pretty close to winning, that I forgot to take Threat off the main scheme, so it's going to advance. So let's go ahead and advance it. I don't know if I put a counter on this, because it's going to advance. And this does say when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it, and then shuffle the encounter deck. So let me do that. Alright, I decided to find an Ultimate Bioservant from the discard pile, but I did shuffle the encounter deck because I looked in there first and didn't find anything I liked. So I do have 2 Ultimate Bioservants now and a Berserk Mutate, so they're starting to build up. I'll flip to the new side scheme. It comes in with 1 threat for me, and the force response after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place 1 test counter here. And then if there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player, remove 3 test counters, and if it completes, I lose. So that is the same thing that the first one did. So, but I've already passed the first part of the encounter phase, the first part of the start, the counter phase, because that's why the other one went off. So I'm to the attack phase now, and Zola will attack for 2. Nick Fury's taking this for 2. Boost, give the villain a tough status card. Okay, so Zola will have a tough status card, and it's just going to be 2 damage. Nick Fury is gone. And it's a good thing that wasn't Concussive Blast, I think it is. It can deal 1 damage to an ally, because if it was, she would have had to take that damage, which she is going to take damage now, because I'm going to have her take the damage from the Mutate and the 2 Bioservants. So that's going to be a total of 4, dropping her from 10 to 6. Okay. And then the encounter card will be Zola's Mutate. So when revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a tech attachment is discarded and attach it to the Mutate. So he will have 5 hit points, and I got to discard until I get an attachment. And it's the first one I see. So I discard it and attach that card to Zola's Mutate. So attach to the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of Pain Inhibitors attached, which is him anyway. So if you cannot, this card gains Surge. Yes, this has to be a tech attachment, and this is a tech attachment. Okay, so I can't put it on him, and the attachment, he gets +2 hit points and gains Retaliate 1. So he's going to go to 7. But the good news is he doesn't have guard, and none of them have guard, because I think I can win the game right here on my turn. And I'll show you why in just a second. But it is back to Captain Marvel. So the first thing I'm going to do for Captain Marvel is attack for 2 to remove the tough from Zola. And that will cause her to take a point of damage, so she'll drop to 5 for Retaliate. And then I'm going to use the energy, I'm going to use this to put another counter on Energy Channel. So now we got 5. Then I'm going to use Goliath. And in case you don't know, because he's a new ally that came with the Rise of Red Skull, he has an action where he gets +4 attack until the end of the phase. And at the end of the phase, you discard Goliath. But he's about to die here, but it doesn't matter because he's going to help me win the game, I think. So he's going to attack for 5 because he gets +4 to his 1. So that's going to drop Arnim Zola down to 9. Okay, 14 down to 9. And it will, he has 2 consequential damage plus the Retaliate, so he's definitely gone. But he has 9 hit points left, and again, I have all these minions in front of me, but none of them have guard. One of them has Retaliate 1, a couple of them have toughness, but none of them have the guard keyword, so I can't attack, and I'm going to attack. So with 9 health left, I'm going to use Energy Channel, discard it to do 10 damage, and that will finish off Arnim Zola. And that's the game. Now, I do leave these 4 minions in play, and that is a kind of a penalty for me from what I've kind of looked ahead to the victory condition, and that is a penalty, and I'll show you what that is in a second. But the good news is not only did I win, but I still have my emergency teleporter, so I definitely be using it in the next scenario because that's the last one. But I've got that, and I think I played everything right. So let's go ahead and see what the victory upgrades are for this scenario. Okay, so as you can see here under the victory, each player engaged with an enemy records they are engaged with an enemy in the campaign log. And I am engaged with an enemy. Not Zola because he was defeated, but I'm engaged, so I'll have to do that. It doesn't say how many enemies, just that if you're engaged. And then if the Hydra prison side scheme is still in play, record the name of each ally underneath it in the campaign log, but it is not. I removed it at the beginning of the game, I think it was, or the second turn. So those allies cannot be included in any deck for the remainder of the campaign. But I did rescue Spider-Woman, and she even helped me. So that won't happen. And then if the Hydra prison side scheme is not in play, each player in hero form may replace their basic condition upgrade with its improved side. So finally, so I'll go into Red Skull. Instead of having my basic side, I'll get to flip it to my improved side. So I still have +2 hit points. I still get the +1 thwart, but now as a response, when I defeat a side scheme, I can exhaust this upgrade and draw 1 card. So that's nice. So that's my upgrades for my victory condition. All right, so that will do it for scenario 4 of the Rise of the Red Skull campaign. And I hope that leaving those minions in play and having to record in the campaign log that I was engaged with an enemy, I hope that doesn't hurt me too bad. I have no idea what that's going to do, but that's kind of the fun of these kind of campaigns is, you know, that was a decision I made to leave those in instead of dealing with them. So that could come back to haunt me, but we'll find out in the next game. I will have to say that if the Red Skull scenario goes the way the last 3, well, really all 4 of them have, I don't really think it's going to matter too much, but it could be tough. I haven't had a whole lot of problems so far in the campaign. Of course, this is standard, but that's good though. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being able to upgrade and getting to see how the story unfolds. And I have had fun playing the game. And again, it is on standard, so that's probably the reason why it's been a little easier. But we'll see if that having the leaving those minions in play will hurt me, how bad it will hurt me against Red Skull. So if you want to see that game, make sure you hit the notification bell, and please consider to like and subscribe the video and share it with people you know, and let them know about this video and the other videos that I've had and any of my other future videos that come out. Make sure they know about that. And until I finish the campaign and until I put any other video out, I'll save you a seat at the table. Take it easy.